Hello, hello. How are you, everyone? Welcome to the SheEO Social Week. I am Ilyasah Simpson of the Charge Room, and I am super excited to be here tonight because this is my night. It's a Tuesday night. So normally I am here and check it out. It is Tuesday, and we are here to talk about the family business and self care balance. Yup. There's a lot of times we are in our busy lives, and we just cannot get balance. So we have a beautiful queen here tonight, Michaela, Mrs. Thompson. Yes, we are here, and I'm gonna tell you just a lot about this queen. Michaela, a firm believer in the law of attraction, and she is the ability of one to create and cultivate her own destiny. Michaela is living proof that you are what you think you are and has solidified herself as the life swap coach. See, we're going to talk about that in a minute, right? As being a life swap coach, Michaela is committed to her belief that every woman deserves both the ability to step into her feminine power and create the lifestyle she deserves. In her new book, Life Swap, Michaela demonstrates vulnerability, honesty, and power as she shares the most painful, intimate parts of her life to release to others from the shame of regret from her past. She's gentle yet brave in sharing her truth while demanding women reclaim their worth and release their skeletons that have riddled their life with regret, shame, and defeat. Michaela, the Life Swap Coach, is a visionary igniting a movement, y'all, a movement challenging women to rebuild, restore, and reclaim the life that they desire. So, ladies, pull up your chairs, get a pen and some paper. Tonight, we are going to take some copious notes because this life swap queen is on deck right now. Mrs. Thompson, how are you tonight? Mrs. Thompson. Hey, y'all. Let's talk about it. We just having a small glitch, but we gonna come back in 2 seconds. So we waiting for Mrs. Thompson to show up on deck. Mrs. Thompson, how are you tonight?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Yes. I am so glad you came to join us here at the SheEO District for Social Week to talk about family, business, and self care. We do know as busy business women that it is extremely challenging to balance out the family, your business, and self care. Because sometimes it's like an extreme, full, stressful time where you just walk around with your hair all pulled out. And then there's sometimes we just feel like, okay, we just gonna lay back and don't care about nobody. But where's the in between, right? Where's the in between? So tell me, Mrs. Thompson, the life swap coach, you are the queen for the night. So we're gonna talk about how did you become a life swap coach?
So, really, I was my first client. I completely changed my own life. I started off working as an insurance agent. I was married at a very young age, 18 years old. I was a kid. After my husband and I split, I found myself working as a full-time adult entertainer, and I stayed in that lifetime for about 4 years. And I actually got to experience the more glamorous side of that lifestyle, five-star lifestyle, traveling around the world. So it wasn't until I had my daughter that I really even thought to switch gears and really decide to make something more of myself that she could be proud of and that I would be okay if she duplicated. So fast forward, 5-6 years at this point, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I own several businesses. So when you have that type of massive success in such a short period of time, you have to stop and wonder, well, what happened? Like, what changed? What did I start doing differently? What series of events started happening that catapulted me into this new life? And so I was able to see that it started with a prayer. And that's what SWAP stands for, starts with a prayer. I started petitioning God for a change. I wanted something better. I wanted a new environment. I wanted a man that would love me and honor me and be faithful to me. I wanted to have successful businesses that my daughter could be proud of. And then from there, once you pray diligently enough, God starts opening doors. And a lot of times he answers your prayer through people. So the right people started showing up in my life, and knowing what I had asked for, I acted in accordance with that prayer. And I started accepting the opportunities and the help and the people that were coming my way. And little by little, I just started transitioning until I looked up and my entire life had been swapped. So that's where that name comes from. And it's also the title of my first book.
Awesome. Awesome. That was definitely an incredible journey. Start with a prayer. I do get it. I do get it. And you said some key points: prayer and acceptance.
Yes.
And that is something that so many people have a challenge. A lot of times they don't feel valued. A lot of times they don't feel worthy. A lot of times they feel that they do not deserve anything good in their lives because of the mistakes that they made, because of their guilt that they wear. And you definitely said, when I'm reading your bio, that something really came out to me when you was saying every woman has worth, and you challenge them to demand a whole new life for themselves. Let me ask you this: on your journey, after you started with yourself and you proved it to yourself, how was it amongst to receive your first set of clients?
It was awesome because I had been empowered by the knowledge and realizing that it was my own self-limiting thoughts and beliefs that were triggering my results in life. So I was really excited to be able to share with women that they had the power. So I take them through a 3-step system. The very first step is you have to release your past. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I released the past, I'm over that, that's old news. But they hold on to the behaviors and the attitudes and the bad habits and all of that soul baggage that they accumulated from that past that they so-called let go. So we first attack their habits, their daily routine, their daily thoughts, what they hear in their mind, what they're telling themselves. And so that kind of starts to reveal their paradigms and the things that are limiting them. The next thing we go over is accepting your present, taking a hardcore look at your results and accepting it, taking accountability for it. I'm here today because of the choices and decisions I made. So now I have the power to change it. It's such an empowering thing. It's very freeing when you can accept your present and accept that you are responsible for where you got. Because when you blame other people, you don't realize that every time you blame someone, you give away so much of your power because you put the power to change in their hands. So by helping women accept their present, I'm able to give them back their power. And then it gets to my favorite part: creating your future. Once you realize that it's your thoughts and your own self-limiting beliefs, you get to start thinking about, well, if that's what's holding me back, what do I really want? What can I create? And that's where we can really start creating magic in their life by adapting new thoughts, new habits, new routines.
I definitely understand. A whole manifestation just shows up. But first thing you have to do is to believe. A lot of
Absolutely.
times people do not believe. A lot of times people do not speak out what they think. A lot of times people just hold, just like you said, they hold everything, all their baggage. I call it emotional hoarding, right? So when you have emotional hoarding, people don't look at that part. They just look at the part that they can see. If you're in your environment and you have things mounted up, building up, creating your own mental prison right in front of you. So I have this thing also that's called cleaning out your messy corners. So as you clean out your messy corners, you're able to clear out your emotions that you're hoarding onto your life, that you are stunting yourself from moving forward towards your future. So I really appreciate your 3-point system that you share to empower other women and to enlighten them to finally accept what they have been holding on to for so many years, and they have no knowledge. Not just know that it's going on with life to be who they feel they think they are. But when you have a broken foundation and you try to pretty it up and put a lot of drip and put a lot of bling on top of it, there's that day that that bling and glips and drip melts away. And what are you stuck with? A broken foundation. So when it comes to family, business, and self-care balance, what do you recommend, and how does one distinguish separating family, business, and self-care?
So for my family, separating them doesn't work because our business really is a lifestyle. There really are no business hours. There are no on or off hours. So we've had to just kind of merge everything and work it out. So nothing is really, everything gets its undivided attention at its appointed time. The Bible says there's a time for everything. So that's how we run our life. If we're spending time with our kids, even if it's only 20 minutes in that hour, we're all in with our kids. If we're working, we have 2 hours to work, we're all in with work. If it's time for me to go get pretty and do my hair, nails, and makeup, then that's what I'm doing. And just having the flexibility to realize that I can write a schedule in my calendar all day long, but being a mom, being a business owner, being a wife, things are going to happen. And so it's just allowing yourself to be adaptable and just realize that I'm going to take life as it comes. And so I really believe in the spiritual laws of success. And that spiritual law is the law of detachment. And when you're detaching from the outcome of life. You're detaching from how you think things should be, and you're just accepting them as they come, knowing that everything is working for your higher good. Everything is working to get you exactly where you need to be. And it's like my favorite affirmation, all my dreams and goals are coming into reality. How they get done is not my business, it's God's business. So a lot of people get so caught up on the how. They're like, how am I going to have time to get this done? How am I going to have time to run this business? How am I going to have time to have this family? And that how is what distracts them from their blessings. That how is God's business. If it's meant for you, it's going to find a way no matter what. So by just detaching yourself from the outcome, allowing yourself to operate in your highest good, and then just understanding it's more than just belief. Belief is the entry level of manifestation, but it's not enough. You have to expect what you believe to happen. If you don't expect it, then it probably won't happen, because when you operate in expectation, hold on for a second. Sorry, I have a 3-month-old and he's having a little conniption down there. When you realize that everything's going to work out the way it is and you expect it, when you're operating in expectance, you move differently. If you expect your check on Friday, you're going to make plans differently. You're going to dress differently. You're going to get through the day differently because you have that expectation. So our dreams and our goals and the things that we want to manifest in our life, we can't just believe. We have to expect that they're going to happen. So that means when we go to work, when we go to sleep, when we wake up, when we pray, when we deal with other people, when we get dressed, when we make decisions, we're acting as if we already got it because we accept it to happen, because we believe it's for us. So it can get really deep. It's really just giving yourself to the way the laws and the spirituality actually operates and kind of getting rid of what you think things should be.
Absolutely. And also is by living from the fruits of your labor, because one of the rules of fruits of your labor is to let go of all authority that you have in your life. And when you release your control from that rigid standard way of thinking, you will allow God to come in to allow him so you can receive him, so he can do everything that he wants to do for you. And again, it goes by, releasing yourself of the old so you can receive what's favorable for you. Because a lot, again, like I said, so many times people, because they have done things in their lives that they are guilty of, they may feel that they are not worthy. So they are not anticipating, as you say, expectation. They are not expecting the good to happen to them because they're so busy thinking about their old and holding on to their old. But if they take the time out to release themselves, to allow God in, to let go of all the authority, to let go of the structural stand passed down from generation to generation, letting go of all your bad and negative thoughts, or letting go of the people that mean you no good. If you take your time out to take time out for yourself to say, self, I want something different, I want something new, then maybe you would flow with a different flow. Maybe you would realize you are holding yourself with limited beliefs instead of unlimited beliefs. So it's such a big difference in the process of you thinking. Your thinking affects your emotions, and your emotions affect your behavior. So I definitely can understand how people have a challenge going from one way to another way, and they get stuck. They get stuck with being emotional hoarders. They get stuck with always thinking negative or thinking the worst that will happen to them. They get stuck in ways where they do not expect good things happening to them. So and definitely prayer is a good answer. So ladies, I just want to say this. So many times we have families, and a lot of us, we may be single mothers. Some of us may be married wives, but we're still mothers. And there are times that we are mothers with no support, right? And then there are times where we have to come to our partners, and meet us and our partners may not always agree. That's another stress. Then is the expectation. So not just being a mother, but being a wife, being a businesswoman, because we go work to work. Or there's some people that do not work, and that's still a stressor, because being an at-home mom is a time job. And a lot of times, some people that stay at home are also in a ways to at times feel depressed. They may not feel worthy. They may not feel valued. They may not have someone that they can reach out to feel that they're worthy of greatness. But I tell you this, ladies, we are queens. And I always say this in the charge room. We are queens. We have eminent domain over any territory that we choose. Anything, anything. So we have to understand that we have the power. We have the power to take control over anything that we desire in our lives. Maybe we haven't had any dreams of what we may want. How about this? Take a vision, create a vision, pursue a vision. Look through magazines, look through commercials, look through different ideas, talk to people with different dreams. So many times we miss the bar because we're not even looking in the right places to get better ideas. We're not even talking to people that can add value to our lives. We are valuable, queens. We are valuable. Let me get 2 seconds. Let me just get Michaela back onto the line. She is backstage. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. We're going to get her backstage. All right. So we definitely understand um, that balance is something to juggle with, and it
Yes.
could really stress you out. And if you do not manage with great coping skills, you will find yourself with your hair sticking up like you put your finger in an electrical socket.
Like being a mom, a lot of people don't give enough credit. Being a mom, being a wife, that is a full-time job. So it's like really shout out to the women who still take on secular work. And I mean, honestly, it's healthy to have secular work just to give you a break from baby talk and changing diapers, just to keep your mind fresh. But it is a job, and just adapt to people. Like the crying in the middle of the interview, they'll get flustered, they'll be embarrassed, like they're like, oh my God. But the law of detachment doesn't allow you to do that. The law of detachment, and I have to do accordingly. I'm going to keep on pushing. Like, it's okay. And there's just so much freedom in giving yourself that forgiveness and giving your ability for life to happen, and know that even when life happens, even though you can't always control the circumstance that's presented, you always can control how you respond, react. So when you start thinking less on what's happening and more on how you're coping with it, how you're dealing with it, how you're benefiting from it, life just becomes a whole different realm.
Absolutely, it sure does. So again, just like you said, it's not what happens, it's all about how you respond. So if you
Yeah.
take a step back and think, okay, breathe. Okay, let's see what different way, route, journey that we could walk, right? So when that happens, because just like we're talking, your child was crying, you had to attend to your child. And not only that, it's a place of understanding. It's a place of allowing yourself to feel that it's okay to be that way. Because some people are so stuck in a way where they're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Why be embarrassed? This is what life is. Life is, if you're a mom, if you're a new mom, if you're a wife, you have to respond to certain ways of doing things. You just can't neglect certain things because you feel proud and you don't want to be embarrassed. It is what it is. And some
Yeah.
people won't allow themselves to feel that it's okay to just be what it is.
And life is like a seesaw. Get so caught up in balance. Like, what is balance? Like, balance changes. Sometimes you're balancing on your left foot, sometimes you're balancing on your right foot, sometimes you're balancing. So balance looks, and so it's like balance for one person may be completely disoriented for another person. And every time
Mhm.
I go to these big conferences and there's that's the first and main everybody wants to ask the women, how do you balance work and life? How do you balance work and life? You let go of the fact, or you let go of the idea that there's a certain formula you can follow to balance. You have to create your balance, and balance is sometimes maintaining your sanity as you deal with the crazy things that make you in life. Balance, maybe balance is not this formula women are seeking. Maybe it's emotional balance. Maybe it's being able to take a breath and go get your hair done, or take your husband figure, no matter, he may not change his diapers or make the bottles as good as you do, but who cares? It's about protecting your emotional balance and your sanity, allowing yourself to still have goals. Like, dreams don't have to go away with the positive pregnancy test. You can still accomplish your dreams and goals. It just may look different the path that you do it.
Exactly. Totally understandable and totally respectful. And if we just take the time out to really see what we really want, see who we really are, and then ask yourself to, and not only just ask yourself those questions, but to give yourself permission to be something different, give yourself permission to be something new. How am I going to show up to this situation today, and am I going to be okay with that? To allow myself to walk in a presence where it doesn't matter what somebody says, it doesn't matter how somebody looks at me, that it just shouldn't matter. So when we move forward to learn how to manage family, business, and self-care, each, because as you create um, a lifestyle for yourself, you have to really dig deep and ask yourself, what do you want and how do you want to live it? And I can't say it but too many times, but there's just so many times that it really matters and it makes a difference. So I definitely respect your perspective and how you are presenting yourself to be successful in who you are and what you're doing. So I definitely can't wait till your book comes out, because I can't wait to read it. And we
Oh,
definitely.
my book's actually been out for almost 2 years now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So I did not know that. So definitely, if you can post us the information so we can put it in our group, and to let it be a guide for women who are really stuck in a place where they feel that they do not know how to begin that process. So stopping by to start with a prayer, and then learning how to release themselves, and then learning how to accept their presence, and then learning how to create their future. That three-step system just works. It just really, really works. So I'm going to ask everybody, anyone, if they have any questions for you. um Let me just look in the quote real quick, because I know you're a busy woman and I do not want to take up too much more of your time, um because your tenacity to continue to be who you are is definitely amazing. And I appreciate you coming on tonight, sharing your wealth of knowledge, sharing your charisma, and just sharing your experience, period, of coming from a place of, just like how you say, we go through rough times, we go through ways where just to survive, and we think that it's enough, and then we realize this is not what we actually want. We want something different. We want something greater, better, something of more value. um so
And
definitely I
one more thing I want to hear me.
hmm
One
you
more
said
thing I
one.
wanted to add, as women, I think it's so important that we have so much more grace with each other, so much
Mhm.
more love and understanding from each other. I can't when I hear women another woman about she looks crazy, or all those kids, or she can't keep her man under control, like all these negative things that they say about each other, but down on our knees and we as God grace give us favor. Like we have to be able to extend that grace and that favor to our
To
fellow
each other.
women, knowing just like we have silent that we're not going to post on social media, that we're not going to share, we have to extend that grace that someone else is dealing with private battles that they're not posting, that they're sharing. So it just, if you have to open it to say something encouraging, open it to say something positive, open it to say something that if they're having a really crappy day, that thing that you're going to help them get through it. Because that's how we're blessed, is through being a blessing
to others.
To others.
Sometimes God can't work through us if we don't allow the vessel and allow God to work. He'll never do anything for us because we're not willing to give back and to serve. So that's the secret. And also forgiveness. My mentor once told me, you will level in life if you're holding grudges against a person that may have abused you, grudges against your ex-husband, grudges against whoever. You have to let that go, to just forgive and extend everybody the grace. They did the best that they could at that current time. I release all of this hurt and grudge and negativity I'm holding for them. I'm sending them light, and I wish them well. You don't have to be in a relationship with them, but when you free that baggage from your heart, it's like freeing a blockage, and it allows the love and all the wonderful things that God's for you to come through. But not being forgiving, that's the automatic way to block everything God has for you.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And that's one of my mantras. You must forgive. Definitely must forgive. So thank you, Mrs. Thompson. I appreciate you taking time out for your day. I promise you, when I get to Nevada to see my mom, I will stop by to see your husband. And I did not know we lived so close. So definitely, we will definitely get together. So thank you so much. Have an awesome night. Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for being an awesome host. I want to thank Kelly for this amazing platform. I think it's need as many communities to women as we possibly can. So I think it's awesome what you guys are doing here. You have an amazing lineup this week. So I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to be connected to women like you. And I wish you so much success in the SheEO district.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as well. So we'll see you soon. Have a great week, okay?
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming by tonight. We had a great conversation, and I know that that is something that all of us can identify with, just finding balance, because every day we wake up is not a good day. It's just not. Something in your area is going to go sour, right? However, we just spoke tonight. If we take a step back and identify what is going on, stop trying to have control over every single thing we do. And if we just had to think about the law of detachment and detach ourselves from anything negative, detach ourselves from the unexpected, expect what you want. Don't sit and say, well, I don't think I'm going to get it. Why not? Why can't you get it? Why can't you have it? If you want it, speak that thing out. Speak life into your life. Speak it into existence and expect it to show up. So if you keep speaking what you want, the law of attraction is going to open up for you, and you will speak it into existence and expect it. Be intentional with it, and it will show up, right? So we also talked about a 3-step system, and one of the steps is you have to release yourself from your past mistakes. Not stay being an emotional hoarder, as I call it. If you can identify being a hoarder, and we see people's environment as hoarding all of these things to the point where they are smothering themselves, to this point that they are killing themselves slowly. And I know you know what that looks like. So just imagine if you taking what you're looking at and you putting it, changing it to how you feel. That same clutter that you have in a room is the same clutter that you are opening up that you're holding inside of your spirit, right? So how about, again, number 2, what she said, accept your present. It is okay to accept your present. It is what it is. So what if it's not perfect? So what? So what? They're looking at you because your hair is sticking up crazy. Like, so what? Right? So what if your makeup is not together? So what if you don't have lashes on? So what? So what if your waist is not snatched? So what? You have to be okay with your so what. And I want you to leave here being okay with your so what. So what? It is what it is. And number 3, creating your future. How about create your future? The only way you're going to create your future is if you pray. You got to pray and accept what you want and expect what you want. You accept your present and expect your future. Don't sit there and say what you're not worthy. Don't sit there and be a negative Nancy. Don't sit there and listen to negative Jaheem. Listen, you are valuable. You are enough. You are amazing. You are a family woman. You are a businesswoman, and you must take care of yourself. You must take care of yourself mentally, and you must take care of yourself physically. Do not devalue yourself. Do not self-sabotage yourself. Do not speak negatively about yourself. Let go of all authority. Queens, it ends and begins with a prayer. It ends and begins with a prayer, and it ends and begins with you. So take time out. Think about what you want. Think about letting go of everything that you are holding yourself back from. Let yourself know that you are enough. Let yourself know that you are amazing. Manifest that thing. It begins with a belief and then the action to move forth with expectation that you will achieve everything that you desire in your life. So thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to sit and have dialogue with you. I am Ilyasah Simpson. I am here from the Charge Room for the social week of the SheEO district. I am here for you, and we are here together as one unit to reach for the stars and dominate the world. So everyone have an awesome and great night. Sleep well, okay? See you later. Bye-bye.